Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now, I've had an email that I thought I would share to you because I thought it was important. I can't vouch for this, but I'm just sharing information as it comes in. Earlier, I made a video and I said, please don't email me. But every now and again, emails do come in with some very interesting information. And if you do have this sort of information that is worth sharing, then please do send that. But it's links to long format videos and circulars and those sort of things, which I really don't have time to get involved with. But where it's information that we can help one another, then of course that is very useful. So thank you very much for doing that. And a big thank you to everybody who's helped me during the time that I have been demonetized, in which Google thought that some of my information was not worth, not so much not sharing because I'm still on the platform, but that they would scold me by taking away any income. I have a little longer before I can actually get back onto their system. I'm deciding whether I want to, because in a way I feel less inclined to be taking the corporate pound. However, we've all got to make a living and pay certain bills, even if it's only food. And of course, as I mentioned before, I want to try and get into farming and have animals and get off more away from the studio and actually doing things. But in the meantime, sharing information that helps one another is absolutely essential. So I just wanted to say thanks for those who've donated. It's been really useful. So this is an email that I got from a lady called Lynn. It came in this morning and I thought, well, this is really interesting. Let's share it. So let's have a look and see what she says. She claims that everyone can legally claim back energy payments. Well, let's have a look and see what she means then, because this would be very useful to everyone. Good morning, Richard, she says. Yes, everyone can legally claim back energy payments. A little known piece of legislation enables everyone to claim back the payments that they have made to energy traders and brokers if no credit agreement has been signed. And I have never known anyone who has signed one yet. Did you sign an agreement in wet ink? How did it happen? That would be interesting to know. Anyway, she says, see below. Let's have a look what else it says. Ofgem are aware of this but cannot do anything as they do not regulate credit brokers. Nevertheless, they have mentioned on their site that these payments are recoverable, although it may be through litigation. Now, I'm not sure I want to go necessarily to court myself, but let's have a look and see what she suggests. She says, I have suggested 1. D-Star the energy trader company asking for all documents, emails, transcripts of phone calls. Ask them to be in paper document form and to be sent to your house. Otherwise, they will use discs and memo sticks that are inaccessible. It took me 7 months to get my data, and only after ICO intervention. Not quite sure what ICO is, but I'm sure you do. 2, inform the energy company that you are requesting all payments back under the relevant legislation, which is posted below. We'll have a look at that in a second. Use the word dispute in the subject heading somewhere. A dispute stops in all enforcement until the matter is properly settled, and of course it cannot be settled if there is no signed credit agreement. The company, it says here, may try to turn it into a complaint, but stick to dispute wording and insist it is treated as one. Stop direct debits. Of course, kind regards, Lynn. Well, that is absolutely fascinating. And yes, the word complaint is one of their legalese words, which then wraps you up into their jurisdiction. But I like that, the dispute. It's a dispute. And the fact that it stops, and this is the interesting part for me, all enforcement. So if you're pushing back, say, against the council tax and you've got enforcement agents and various things, you could use that. I mean, I think I may well use that because I'm also pushing back with the council tax. And we'll see where that goes. More on that and more on what I'm doing with the water payments that I mentioned in a previous video. People have been asking me about the bill of exchange. I'll talk about that when I've actually finally managed to get a little bit further with things like HMRC and the council tax and any other energy bills that I'm dealing with. However, she mentioned the relevant legislation. So let's have a look at that. I don't know if you can see this on your screen very clearly. I've tried to make it as big as I can. It says everyone should be able to claim back all their energy payments under this useful piece of information. I've never known anyone yet who has been informed that their energy company is actually a credit broker. Under the Consumer Credit Act 1974, Chapter 39, Part X, Section 155, an individual has the right to recover brokerage fees, meaning as an individual is protected if no credit agreement has been signed and anything over £5 has to be returned. Now, what about that? That is fascinating, isn't it? Let's just look at that one more time. Everyone should be able to get all their energy payments under this useful piece of information. And so here we go. I've never known anyone yet who has been informed that their energy company is actually a credit broker. They say they're supplying the energy, don't they? Or they don't say anything. It is assumed that these companies are what they say they are. But they are actually credit brokers. They don't manufacture it, do they? It comes from the national grid mostly, or from the North Sea gas, or wherever it does come. So there we are. Under the Consumer Credit Act 1974, an individual is protected if no credit agreement has been signed, and anything over £5 has to be refunded. I wonder how far back you can go. And then underneath it says here, I'll read this too. I think this may be the same thing, but people who can litigate, please claim back the undisclosed broker commissions for pensioners and other vulnerables and teach others how to do it. Apparently this chap here has already given the relevant legislation. It would mean that they would not make payments for any energy bill other than £5. Well, what about that, ladies and gentlemen? I'd love to know your thoughts. If you've tried it, if you've done it, if you're going to do it, if you're going to experiment, why not? These people are taking our money, and it may be under the pretense of being energy brokers, and it may well be that we can, if not recover, certainly stop in the future them taking our money, other than £5. Now, if you had to pay £5 a month, well, that ain't so bad, is it, for all your energy supplies over a year? £5 a month would be very acceptable, certainly to me. What do you think? Be interested in your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much to Lynn for sending that email. Till next time, goodbye.